breaking news, GMNC is back on set, ready to entertain you. We hope that your morning is going great so far. Before we open the show with the weather and surf report, we'd like to give our biggest gratitude to the Hair Shack and Puza Water for being our sponsors. Let's head start with the weather and surf report, brought to you by Victory Surf.
Good morning and welcome to your weather for today, brought to you by Victory Surf. Today will be nice with plenty of sunshine with a high of 22 degrees and a low of 12 degrees. The real feel will be 24 degrees and the real feel shade 20 degrees. We have a northerly wind at 7 kilometers per hour and wind gusts at 28 kilometers per hour. 0% chance of showers today. The sunrise will be at 6:41 a.m. and the sunset at 5:04 p.m. Joburg, plenty of sunshine with a high of 16 degrees and a low of 4 degrees. Pretoria, also sunny with a high of 18 degrees and a low of 5 degrees. Cape Town, cloudy to start with, then sunshine returns with a high of 18 degrees and a low of 11 degrees. Next up will be your surf report, brought to you by Deon Bosman.
The magic of an accompaniment, tailor-made and the passion.
Good morning, Ballito, and welcome to Wednesday morning's beach report. And after that heavy wind yesterday, the ocean has whipped up some very, very big swell and solid 3-meter conditions at most of the beaches. So pretty wild out there, and only for the big wave riders. Be very careful. It's a strong, strong swell, and Bog and Main Beach looking exceptionally good, but closing out a little bit on the lower tide. I would wait for the incoming tide after lunch. A very light variable westerly breezes today, so conditions are absolutely spot on, but the swell is massive. Please be careful out there today, guys. It's going to be a challenging day, and make sure you have got your wits about you. Enjoy your surf. Speak again tomorrow.
Welcome back to our GMNC show. With me in studio is our ever so handsome Tony Subramony to bring us our daily inspiration. Tony, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome back, Ted. Nice to have you on the hot seat there.
Yeah, it's nice to finally be back.
Yeah, great. It is good to be on the outside as well.
I was just saying, how beautiful is it being outside?
Absolutely.
It's absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
So Tony, what are we kicking off our daily inspiration
Okay,
with?
today I want to talk about a little bit of a tongue twister.
Yeah?
But a serious message is grow through what you go through.
Grow through what you go through.
Yes.
It is a tongue twister.
It is, but it's actually such an important
Yeah.
aspect of life that we need to realize that we all go through some very, very tragic episodes in life, experiences that we go through. I mean, recently as well, with the floods and what's happened
Yeah,
in
most
KZN.
definitely.
But I want to address this to people who've been through a divorce some years ago, someone who's lost their job, someone's been, through some very unpleasant relationships that they've had, financial difficulties,
Yeah.
So many people feel that that's the end of life. I've been through it, life is such, and I'm not going to be able to get out of it. And today I want to encourage the viewers to understand that you have the potential to make a breakthrough.
Yeah,
Right.
that's very important.
I hear people always say, oh, it's easier said than done. But if you don't make the effort, it's never going to be anything better than where you are. Change comes out of the effort you make to look at the life differently and positively.
Yeah.
And we all go through these experiences, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, at that time when you experience it, it's good to experience it, fully acknowledge it, and know that it's happening to you. Go through all the emotions that you go through, but understand that you need to get out of it, rather than just staying in this dark area,
Yeah.
dark place, and being bitter in life.
Yeah.
So you have your children, and they think, well, that's what life is about. Life is just a journey of bitterness, disappointment, and despondency, and that's not what it is. But I know a number of listeners, our viewers, are also wondering, how do we do this? What do we do? And
Yeah,
firstly,
what steps do we take?
Yeah, firstly, make the effort, right? Believe in yourself and give yourself permission today that it is possible to move out of this dark corner that I've put myself in, or circumstances have put me in, right?
Yeah.
Make the effort to get out of it. As soon as you start making the effort, you start attracting the right circumstances for you to see progress, for you to see the light,
Yeah.
right? Also, failure is not that bad F word. You know, I always say success is a series of failures along the way, right? So if you failed once, it's cool to get on back and get going. Failure is feedback. Failure is feedback. Failure is saying to you what you've tried didn't work, but there's other ways and means of getting over the hurdle and getting into a better place in life
Most
as well.
definitely.
Also, connect with people that have been there and have kind of successfully managed these situations as well, knowing fully well that everyone's been through some tragic experience. You don't need to be alone in this dark spot that you've created and say, well, that's what life is all about.
Yeah, that'll just hold you back.
Right, it'll hold you back.
Yeah.
So there's a number of support groups. There's people abundantly available to say, listen, there is a way out, connect, and we can get going. The moment you connect is the moment you start making the decision to change.
Most definitely.
And you stick to it and become committed to it as well. Now, for those who are struggling and they'd like to reach out to me, they're welcome to do so. You know, I can connect them with the right people in order to make that change.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not possible to continue living this life in the dull doldrums that we so assume it should be and call it life. That's not life. You know, you can be around for 70 years, 80 years, and whatever you put into life,
Nothing.
eventually what you put in is what you get out.
Yeah.
So today my message is grow through what you go through. Don't just stay in this dark spot and believe that's what life is all about. So that's what I want to encourage the viewers to take this bold step, make the effort, make the decision, and get on.
Absolutely lovely. Tony, what a beautiful, inspirational message this morning. I mean, a lot of people are so shy actually to admit what we're going through. And even reaching out to your peers is so embarrassing. And that's why the experts like you in this industry, please contact Tony. He can most definitely guide and help you through all your difficult times to grow through what you are going through.
Awesome.
Tony, thank you so much. It was good having you with me on
Thanks,
studio
Devin.
again.
Good to have you back as well.
Thanks, Tony. We're going to go to an ad break. After the ad break, we've got our sports segment with Matt Williams.
Many of us have witnessed the destruction and devastation brought on by someone's addiction to drugs, alcohol, gambling, over-the-counter medication, etc. The destruction continues until professional help is sought. However, failure to do so can result in either being admitted to a psychiatric facility, sentenced to imprisonment, or eventual death. This is the stark reality of addiction. My name is Subramony. I am a qualified social worker and I specialize in addiction counseling services to individuals, couples, and families. I am an ex-alcoholic, having been sober for the past 32 years. I am also a certified AcuDetox specialist. AcuDetox refers to the auricular acupuncture. It is a 5-point acupuncture protocol specifically designed to help those struggling with substance abuse. Contrary to popular belief, the opposite of addiction is not only about sobriety. It is more to do with having a connection. First and foremost, the connection is with oneself and then with the world. Recovery from addiction is an inward journey. I often refer to recovery as an inside job. As you embark upon this inward journey, you eventually become willing and comfortable to connect with the outer world. You get to understand and accept the fact that you do not need any mood-altering chemicals to make you feel good on the inside. All you seek is within you. This bodes well for long-term abstinence from drugs and alcohol as well. Addiction is not about the pleasurable effects of substances. It is about the user's inability to connect in healthy ways with other human beings and with himself or herself. In other words, addiction is not a substance disorder, it is a social disorder. If you or a loved one is struggling with addiction, I encourage you to give me a call on 081 533 6565. 081 533 6565. Saving lives one day at a time.
Welcome back. I'm sitting and I'm chatting with Neville once again this morning. Neville, how are you?
I'm strong, and yourself?
I'm fantastic, thank you. It's so lovely to see you again. I know you've got lots to share with us. What's been happening in the reptile world?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a unusual year. I think that we're in for the worst winter that we've seen in decades.
Yes.
As far as severity goes. It's sort of proven itself already so far, and we're not even halfway through it.
Yeah, true.
So it looks like it's going to be a long, drawn-out affair. Most people are saying a breath of relief, and they're saying, oh, well, that means not many snakes around, and it's going to be quiet on the reptile front. But that is partially true.
Okay.
However,
yes,
when we have those warm days,
they'll come out.
there's going to be quite frenetic activity.
Okay.
Because the activity needs to take place.
Yeah.
And if we have 10 good days as opposed to the normal 18 good days,
Yes.
all 18 days action needs to take place in 10 days.
Okay.
And so we still can expect a lot of activity. Male mambas and cobras are now doing their dominance thing.
All right.
On the days that allow for it.
Okay.
On other days, they're just like us, and they sort of lie and say, I couldn't be bothered, I'm staying right here, you know.
So Neville, what are some of the activities that we're finding that the mambas are doing around this time, like you were saying?
Well, it's the male dominance. You see, to earn a spot in the genetic chain,
Yes.
you need to be of a set standard.
Okay.
And so all the male mambas and cobras are doing this dominance thing.
Right.
And it's a wrestling match between the males.
Yeah.
And it's typical schoolyard bullying, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you, I'm
Yes.
faster than you, that sort of thing. And you've got all the ladies saying, ooh, wow, wow. I think
Interesting.
that guy, yes,
Yeah.
he's the boy, you
Yeah.
know. And so it sort of aligns up with the mating that's going to follow
Okay. Yes.
shortly.
Yes. Yeah.
So just to put you in the picture, the males will do all the shoving around.
All right.
The females get turned on and they start moving off, and they leave a pheromone trail.
All right.
And the guy who's won the battle will certainly be on that trail. But the other males are going to say, just in case this guy doesn't get there,
It's full on.
I'm going as well, you know?
Yeah.
And during this period, it's not unusual to find numbers
All right.
of snakes congregating in an area.
Okay. All right.
We
Yes.
get these frantic calls that say, I've got a nest of snakes.
Yes. Yeah. I've seen
No,
that.
you don't.
Yeah. Okay.
There's just a female that's in season.
All right.
You can see that with dogs as well. You know, you have one female on heat and you've got all these other males
True.
pitching up.
Following. Yeah.
Most are not contenders, but they're there.
True.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's going to be a drawn-out affair, and it's going to be frenetic at times.
Yeah.
But I've brought something of interest along.
Okay. So you've got something interesting
I've
for
got
us today.
something of interest.
All right.
And I just want to take this period of time
All right.
to just realign everybody's ideas with IDs.
Okay.
And, you know, it's important that, I mean, when you speak to somebody, you want to know who he is.
Correct.
You want to know what he's about.
Yeah.
And as humans, we've got this thing where we categorize people, like what job do you do?
Yeah.
You know, and that sort of thing. And with snakes, it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
We need to be in a position where we can identify who we're dealing with
All right.
and so on. Now, like
Yeah.
I've stated many times, there's snakes that we can live with and should, and there's
True.
others that we shouldn't.
Yes. Yes.
And this is one of the guys that we can live with and should live with.
Okay. And how do we know?
Well, his key ID feature is that lighter line that you see from the tip of the snout,
Yes.
and it goes over or through the top edge of the eye.
Okay.
Now, a brown house snake, most of them will have the one that goes below the eye as well.
All right.
But I have seen that absent in a few.
Okay.
But I've never seen a brown house snake without the one over the eye. So that would be your key ID feature.
All right.
And if you look at him from the front, he looks like one of these 1970s motor cars with the GT stripes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it just gives him that ID. Now, this, along with the guy that we brought along last week, is a constrictor.
Okay.
And he's one of the gang that makes your pest control a rather cheap element to implement.
Oh, interesting. All right.
So that's their chief function, is pest control. And just out of interest, you know, our newest threat to our integrity in this world is monkeypox.
Yes.
All right?
Yeah.
And monkeypox is spread by rats.
Snakes eat
Snakes nullify
Yeah.
the spread.
Okay.
Just a point of interest.
All right. That's lovely. And just out of interest, for someone who's at home looking at you saying, I really want to get involved, I really want to get my hands into this space, how do they, let me ask rather, where did you start and how did your passion for snakes start? And how can someone at home looking at you saying, wow, I'd really like to be a Neville one day?
My passion is a God-given birthright.
Okay.
Okay? So that's where God placed me where I could grow up in amongst these things. And the passion is kindled from small.
True.
But if you really feel like you're passionate and you really feel like this is your thing,
Yeah.
and you want to get involved, come see us at Ndlondlo Reptile Park.
Awesome. Yeah.
Come and talk to us. We're very approachable. We love to speak to people. And if you want an education, there's a number of courses available.
Fantastic.
And
yeah.
we're actually busy working on that. And eventually we're going to get a qualification on that.
That's awesome. Thank you, Neville. It was lovely to see you, and thank you for bringing this lovely guest in studio.
Super. Great stuff.
We'll see you after the break.
Hey Ballito, it's 2022, Man vs. Food.
We're supporting the usual suspects, Sable's Creatures and the Ballito Beach Collective. This year we've got a long list of activities for this amazing evening. What have we got, Brett?
We've got hot wings,
We've got chili vodka drinking contest.
we've got a boat race.
We've got an auction. But this year we are changing the game. We have completely destroyed the main event and we've created something new. And it is called Thor's Hammer. So Brett, tell us what Thor's Hammer is all about.
This is a 2 kg beef shin. We're going to cover it with a cheese sauce on top of a bed of mash, weighing in at 3 kgs.
3 kilos. So if you think you're man enough, you got what it takes, or just capable of taking this bad boy down, get down to Mozambique Ballito on the 8th of June, get involved, it's all for charity, and let's see you put your money where your mouth is. And
We will
rock you.
Welcome back. I'm sitting with head chef of Montagne, Trevor. Trevor, how are you doing today?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fantastic. So tell us about the successful event that you had last week.
Okay, so last week on the 25th was International Wine Day, and we got together with Lonford Wines, and we did a wine evening.
Okay.
It's not like that. So with food and with wine, it's a passion.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
And when International Wine Evening was coming on, it was a chance for me to really open up what I can do and show people what I can do. And so we got together with Lonford and we planned a menu. I drank a lot of wine. I paired a lot of different foods. And it was a really good success. I had a good time doing it. My team, we all worked really hard. We all had a lot of fun.
Tell us about your menu.
Basically what I did is I chose 7 bottles of wine and we paired 7 different meals. We started with an almond bush, so we did prawns and wild berry sauce as a starter with some champagne.
Okay.
It was really good. The second one, which was definitely one of my favorites, was a chicken korma. It was a Sauvignon Blanc.
Oh, okay, cool.
Right. A lot of the foods were created with the tastes in mind of the wine. What does the wine smell like? What does the wine taste like?
Yeah.
What opens up those nodes in the wine that allow all the flavors and all that to come through. A very good meal we also did was we did duck, right, with a hollandaise sauce, which is also really nice. It had a creamy texture to a red wine, a Pinot Noir.
Okay.
You know, and then they had a bit of a balance. We did oak-fired lamb chops for one of my favorite, the Shiraz. It really brought out the smokiness of the lamb, the wildness, which added a contribution to the wine and its wild flavors as well. You know, I did a wine evening. It was a lot of fun.
You're making me hungry as you speak.
Oh, thank you very much.
In terms of the recipes that you followed for the evening, are these like secret recipes or is this your signature style? Do you want to...
It is a style of mine. I've been a chef for about like 20 years. I've traveled the world. I've been to a lot of different countries. I've learned lots of different styles of cooking. As for the recipes, I'll go to my grave with them, unfortunately. It's just one of those chef things, you know, you can't teach it, you then don't share it, I don't know. It's something to that effect. Yeah, and it is. If something else were to approach, I would go back into history and I would go, well, maybe Mexican would go with it, you know, and that's where I want to go here at Montagne. I want to do these events, wine evening, Mexican fiesta evening. You know, we do a pizza evening already. We have our steaks and our chops as it goes. So, Montagne, we're changing all the time.
Exciting, I love that. We're heading into June. What's coming up at Montagne in June?
Father's Day.
Of course,
yes,
Father's
Day is a big one. We're doing a junior Shisha Yama and a Heineken draft.
Any exciting ideas for winter this year in terms of meals that people can prep at home or come and enjoy here as well?
Okay, so cooking for winter, your best bet is always fresh.
Yes.
So cook fresh, your veggies, your soups, things like that. Because if you cook them fresh, you can freeze them, which means you can take them out on a beautiful cold day, nice soup and bread, it's beautiful. Here in winter, we do a lot of specials. I go into my time where I spent in the Berg and that, and we bring out all the casseroles and all the lekker potjies and all those kind of things. So do stay tuned here for Montagne and see what we're doing.
Okay, love the warm, hearty meals.
Yes.
Trevor, thank
yes,
you. It's lovely
pleasure.
chatting to you always.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you after the ad break.
Like it? Water paint. You like queuing to pay electricity? Don't think so. Water paint.
Wait, so I can use it?
Even if I'm on another network. Vodapay.
Off to do the monthly
shopping. It's done.
Really? Yeah, Coco.
And we get rewards.
We like sending and receiving money now. How about when the combos communicate?
Vodapay it. You like good times with friends? Vodapay!
Introducing Vodapay, the one app for anything and everything. Like it, Vodapay it.
And we're back, and I'm sitting and chatting with Micheline, Miss Ballito finalist. Micheline, welcome. Lovely to see you.
Thank you so much. So lovely to be here.
So tell us, how did you start your journey to Miss Ballito, and what inspired you to actually participate?
Well, actually, I started it with Heidi and Karen asking us. They told us about it, and actually my twin sister and I never knew much about it because we weren't from this area. So they told us about it, and then we were like, let's think about it. And at first we were like, no, like, we're not models. Like, we're not going to do this. And then Shantz and I, we spoke about it, and we're like, listen, actually we have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Absolutely.
So let's try something new, put ourselves out there. And then I thought, I work with so many kids, and I'm always encouraging them to try new sports, to try something new, to, you know, put themselves out there. So then I was like, why don't I do that as well this year? I'd try something new, something I've never done before, and I'm glad I've done that. It's been honestly so much fun, and I've really enjoyed the experience.
So you mentioned that you work with kids. What are some of the things that or projects that you're involved in?
So I work with kids, and I'm on au pair, and I'm studying to be a foundation phase teacher. So I do distance learning. So I work in the day, and then I study at night, or if I have in the mornings, I study in the morning. And for my community project, because I love working with kids, I've decided to do my own like fundraising for stationery for Siakula and Labasha. I'm busy collecting new or old stationery, and I'm going to be going to the community centers and donating it to them, so it'll be accounted for, and they'll be able to have stationery where they can work and they can just color in books and all that. So at least they also have some stationery, and that's what my community
How can people get involved in that initiative?
Well, I actually have a few donation points, so you can go and donate new or old stationery.
Okay.
So I have at Single Track Minded, Secret Beauty Spa. I have at 10 out of 10 stationers. They actually are helping, and they are donating some stationery towards this course. And you can also donate stationery at North Coast Careers.
there's a little box, and you can just take new or old stationery and put it in the box, and it will be going to the community centres.
So that's pens, pencils, crayons, whatever people can think of.
Yes,
you can donate.
anything and everything will be appreciated.
That's lovely.
They're also looking for if there's any new or old shelves. If you want to throw things out, you can also look at donating that. They would love to get any donations that they can.
Share with us some of your key moments, your highs, your lows throughout this journey.
So some of my key moments, I would say, is I've made a lot of friends. It's been such an amazing journey. Like, I feel like the girls, they are also friendly. It's not what you expect. Like, you expect to go and you're like, oh, this is going to be so nerve-wracking. Like, you know, you're going against each other. But it's actually been such a beautiful journey. It's been a lot of fun, and I felt like we've made a lot of friendships just within this small space of time. And I would say maybe for lows, it's been something new, so it's a little bit challenging sometimes. You get nervous.
Yes.
But they're very small compared to the good.
Yeah.
You experience a lot of good things, and it's so exciting. It's very different. It's very fun as a girl. You feel like you're special. And you got a group of girls to stand with you. So it's very exciting and something different. So.
I love that. I love the spirit of sisterhood.
Yeah.
So in terms of your next steps, where are you seeing yourself in the next couple of years or months? What's Micheline all about?
So I'm all about, I love positivity, so I love being positive, and I want to, in the next few years or so, I'm saving and I want to go traveling.
Lovely.
After all this COVID, saving up money, I want to go see the world. I haven't done much traveling in my life, so my twin sister and I want to go do a few trips to a few places. So we want to do some traveling and then hopefully qualify as a teacher. And I'm very excited to become a teacher. I can't wait to have my own classroom one day and decorate it. And I must say, I think I'm very passionate about working with kids. They just bring out this other side of me that gets very excited, and it's a lot more fun than most people think. I must be the inner child.
That's true. Children bring out the best in us. Yes. That's true. Children bring the best out of us. So if people want to follow you and support you, how can they find you? Are you on Instagram, Facebook?
So I actually have an Instagram account. It's Micheline Souchon 24, and then I have a twins account with my sister, which is Twins in Transit, where we spread a lot of our adventures and our journeys, and we do a lot of adventures around Ballito. So we share that on there, and we have those social media handles.
Micheline, we wish you all the best. Good luck, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy your journey with Miss Ballito.
Thank you so much.
Cool. We'll see you after the ad break.
Fit24 and Ballito TV are proud to announce a new and exciting television series,
giving contestants the opportunity to lose weight and feel great with our Fit24 challenge.
We are looking for 12 contestants who are driven to achieve their weight loss goals and kickstart their new and improved healthy lifestyle within the guidance of their very own personal trainer provided by Fit24.
The finale will reveal the winner who made the biggest impact on their health and weight loss journey, walking away with a host of prizes valued at 50,000 Rand, along with a lifetime membership at Fit24 gyms.
To enter the Fit24 challenge, write a one-page motivation as to why we should choose you. Submit your motivation and a full-length photo of yourself at the closest Fit24 gyms club in your area, and you could be chosen for our very first season.
Entries close on the 25th of June 2022.
T's and C's apply. Please note that the Fit24 challenge is only permitted to entrants who reside within KZN.
Welcome back. I'm sitting with Lindsay, Operations Manager from Sea Harvest. Lindsay, welcome to BTV.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Lindsay, let's talk about some of the amazing work that Sea Harvest has been involved in the past couple of weeks, specifically the food parcels and the distributions that you've been working on in KZN.
Yeah, KZN, we've been quite busy over the last few months, ever since the riots and stuff. Every time I think we're going to get a break, another disaster happens. So I suppose SA Harvest has been the inception was 2019, and we've delivered over 20 million meals now. With the floods, it's been a lot quieter and slower than what happened in the looting. So in the looting, everybody threw themselves at us and food and assistance and stuff, whereas the floods have been slightly quieter and slower. And the challenges we've had as well as access and roads and things like that. So it's been quite a very, very tricky territory to be navigating at the moment. It really has.
It's quite interesting that you've been doing this since last year, since the riot stage. So there's a lot of work behind that. Tell us about some of the challenges and that you've experienced since then.
I suppose infrastructure for us is big. We're very lucky to have a big warehouse, and I've got a full team and forklifts and stuff like that. And I suppose this is what happens when disasters happen and people come at you with stuff, but then they forget about the logistics and operation on the other side. Yeah. So people often will send, and in Joburg and in Cape Town, they've got food, and they're like, right, Lindsay, it's here. And I'm like, okay, now
where do I start it?
And then what we found as well in the floods, though, is a lot of people now are needing clothing and bedding and blankets and stuff. So we've had to really pivot and send a lot of other stuff out other than just food. I mean, it's a disaster what's happening out there, as you can imagine. And then the only other challenge, of course, is our big trucks. Our big 4-ton trucks, we're relying a lot on our beneficiaries to bring their own bakkies in and out because we can't get our big trucks out. And again, it's actually... Our safety is also a big concern. We have been looted once or twice, been out on the roads, and the guys just sit quietly in the car and they just let the guys open the back and take what they need to take because you can't stop and
secure safety.
So we prefer unmarked cars to come in, and our beneficiaries are getting involved. So we've had some incredible community members on the ground getting involved. It's been insane. It's been awesome.
So you've been servicing the whole entire KZN? Yeah. You mentioned that you move about how many tons of...
At the moment, we're moving close to anywhere between, on a normal day, a normal week, it's about 20 to 50 tons, and now it's about 50 to 100 tons. So, I mean, we had 90 tons come in just over the weekend, but it was bottles of cool drinks. You can't really say we're setting out a balanced, nutritious meal if we're setting out maize meal and cool drinks. But we're not going to say no to that. So we'll take that and then we just back it up. We've got a partner with Hello Choice, and they're a farm-to-fork platform, and then they've got a foundation called One Farm Share, and they've got funding and they buy in from the emerging farmers. So at the moment I've got apples and carrots, butternut and potatoes in the warehouse. So every week we bring about 20 odd tons plus of vegetables and fresh produce in.
So what are you looking for? Someone out there saying, I'd really like to get involved. What type of items or food parcels are you specifically looking for at this stage?
You know what, at the moment, anything and everything, even if it's household goods, and not that that's what SA Harvest does, we do food, but while we're going out there, there's all people have lost everything. So whether it's blankets and clothing, especially for the winter coming in as well, and then like Tupperwares, we're even collecting yogurt tins and buckets, buckets at the moment, and Tupperwares for the kids. And then obviously any food item, and anybody who's in distribution and manufacturing, we take any food that is, and we can provide the Section 18A, which is for tax, that's write-off, and anything that's before the expiry dates, whether it's damaged packaging or whatever, as long as the food is still fit for human consumption. And even if people think, well, we've got people we would like to send to, we've got spread out throughout areas. And if a farmer approaches me from Mpangeni, I'm certainly not going to say, well, yeah, I'll bring it all to Durban, because we've got all our rural areas. We still need to try and get people back home one day, and reduce those green miles. So if people get in touch with us from up here, I work with Vision 153 and a few of the other guys. I'm not going to send all the food to Durban, then I'll just make smaller hubs. So they mustn't be worried that I'm going to take all the food and not give it to people that they're familiar with. So that's it. And logistics as well. Anybody who's got any can offer any assistance with transport. And then just even a 500 Rand donation helps me pay my beneficiaries when they've hired a bakkie and bought it in. So it makes a huge deal. Huge difference.
How do people get involved? Do they follow a page, website, or everything's online?
We've got a very active social media. We do a lot of imagery and stuff like that, especially because we can be so transparent because we track everything on a digital platform. So it's www.saharvest.org, and then we've got an Instagram account as well.
Okay.
And then all our contact details on the website.
Any message of hope that you'd like to share? I've personally seen some of the devastation and it's been really hard to handle. What would you like to say to our viewers out there?
Well, actually, there's another thing then as well, is the biggest thing for me is just people learning about resilience. I've definitely not had an easy time in my life as well, and I just keep pushing forward. But, you know, in all of this, there are these phoenixes that come up from the ashes type thing. Yeah. It's so cliched, but it's so true. So we've got an incredible platform, network of people on the ground, and all my beneficiaries are on a WhatsApp group, and everybody talks to each other, so nobody feels alone. So I think in all of this, is people are feeling quite isolated, and I think just to reach out and make contact with your community leaders, whether it's Rotary clubs, Lions clubs, or go to the soup kitchens, and then come to us as like a whole community. We really need to come together, and anybody who's got services or offering or support around like resilience and stuff, because I think that the biggest thing is the emotional trauma. I mean, I literally walk in Reservoir Hills still, and they know that they've got bodies under the rubble there, and they've got no earth removing it, and it's totally devastating. So I think that's the biggest thing, is getting support.
Yeah.
And anybody can reach out and give us to go and speak to our beneficiaries or create groups would be insane. So I think people just need to learn the word resilience.
Thank you, Lindsay. Really love the work that you're doing, and I'm sure you'll get the support from our communities and our leaders out there. Thank you very much, and lovely to have you on our show this morning.
Thanks very much for having me. Thanks, Say. Bye.
We'll see you after the ad break.
At Austral Accounting, we are more than chocolate counters.
At Austral Accounting, we specialize in accounting,
taxation,
company secretarial services,
business advisory services, accounting cloud software,
full payroll administration to ensure full compliance.
And we service our clients in English, Afrikaans, and isiZulu.
Don't get caught with your hand in the chocolate jar when we can be your greatest asset.
Jason, we're going to be chatting more about the process of waterproofing, damp-proofing. Are they the same thing? Am I correct?
Much of a muchness, yeah. So let's dive straight into it, into the pond of waterproofing one day. So yes, waterproofing and damp-proofing are much of the same. I think they might refer to the two sides of it, one being more bulk work, dams, stormwater, or retaining walls rather, attenuation tanks, reservoirs, and then the other would probably relate to smaller applications like showers, windowsills, and other residential applications, roofing, that sort of thing. So what I've brought along today are products from the waterproofing centre. They're the suppliers of the Derby gum product, very commonly known to everyone. And ultimately what I've got here is the application for a more heavy duty application, which is the Souchon application, which we'll start off on, which is patios and more the bulk civil side of things, patios, retaining walls, and so on. So basically, as you can see and feel, it is a rubberized product. This one specifically is 3 millimeters thick. Okay, it comes in a roll, and then as we unroll it, we burn it with a gas flame torch, and that gets the material nice and soft, and then allows it to adhere to an already primed surface. So that obviously offers our waterproofing protection, and it comes in different grades. This one, for instance, horticultural. This has obviously got a root preventative in it, so if you're going to be doing a planter box, for instance, on a roof garden or something, then you would use an application like this.
Oh, wow.
Then there are other products that are, some waterproofing applications come with this strengthening element built in, but this is called Silbond. It's basically a fiberglass grid mesh that is installed again over the rubberized. It's got an adhesive sort of side on the back, which is then adhered on and onto this waterproofing, and then that's now reinforcing, that fiberglass is now reinforcing, so it allows for, in the event of movement and that sort of thing, that your waterproofing doesn't sort of get any damage, and then also try and protect whatever surface you put on top, tiling or whatever, it assists with making sure that doesn't.
Interesting.
And then you've got other sort of flashing and counter flashing and mastic tapes, just rubberizing tapes that you would use on the corners, the junctions of walls and floors. Obviously a big part of before you put on any of these rubberized applications or any waterproofing application is to prepare your base and prepare your substrate. If you can imagine, if we want water to flow out of something, we have to make sure that it's got to fall to the outlet. So we can't have it sort of all the water sitting on this side and the outlet far on the other side.
Because then none of this is going to work, correct?
Yeah, sitting water will always be a problem. It will always find its way through eventually, so you want to try and sort it out straight off the bat. So first of all, what we do, let's go through the process, and then we'll touch back on the product, is we would demolish whatever's there, if there's an existing product, or we get back down to the concrete level, which is our base level. We can't go any lower or any deeper into the structure than that, so our concrete would basically be our starting point. Then from that point we set our outlets, and then we screed the entire area to fall, whether it's adding outlets or using the existing ones if they're sufficient, but we'll do a design of that screed based on the outlets and where it needs to go, and then the screed will be done to those falls.
Okay.
You know, once that's done, basically any water that falls on that surface area will run to the outlet. So that's achieving stormwater control in terms of runoff. And now you want to control the stormwater and rain in terms of the saturation, which is where these products come in. So first you need a primer. You prime your screed surface. It's a petroleum-based bituminous primer. Obviously you're using this application. Then you would torch on your waterproofing system. You would then apply your Silbond or tile safe option. Okay. And then you would put your tiling on. And then this product, which you've been very keen to touch, this is just it's a drainage sheet, so it comes in long sheets. Yeah. Again, a roll, and you would roll that out. Say if you've got a flat garden roof or something, and then you want water to flow and not sit below it, so that would go in, and then some bitum or geofabric, and then your stone or pebbles or whatever would go on that. So any water is then running between those grooves and the waterproofing.
Well, that's totally fascinating to me. It sort of puts the whole realm of waterproofing and damproofing into a different genre here.
Coming up on our Chapman Building segment next week, we'll be continuing with today's topic.
Hello Josh, thank you for joining me on the hot seat today. I'm so glad you're here. The trophies are looking beautiful, okay, and this is a very nice initiative you're doing today. We were speaking off set about how important this is. So tell me a little bit more about what today is all about.
Awesome. Thank you again, Meg and Ballito TV, for always having us on board with our initiatives. This is the Rise Up Movement Gender-Based Violence fundraising event. We are thankful to CHM Ballito Group for giving us the opportunity with Centers in the Drive Time to partner in doing a fundraising event for our safe house. And yes, Meg,
I'm very excited.
Finally sealed the deal with the safe house. We have already acquired the land. We are currently now on the phase of land surveyors, and hopefully by next month we're going to put up the fencing, and obviously from there start the building project. So one of the initiatives we're running today is a motor show that's called Base Crusaders Against Gender-Based Violence. You know, we youngsters, we like the loud cars, pumped up cars, and the dynos, and incorporated to that we've got extreme rides and the various elements, or I'd say the various entities in Ballito that joined forces to host this event. And that's why we have trophies for the different classes.
Absolutely beautiful.
And for competitors to come in, compete, and on the same note, bring the awareness campaign of gender-based violence, domestic violence, human trafficking, kidnapping that's taking place, and so forth. So so we're just trying to get the community all rallied up together and to make this event a success towards our future goal.
How can the community be a part of this? How can they assist? How can they help? How can they get in contact with you?
Megan, at this current time, we are in need of funding. We have applied with our various funding organizations within government, and we are still on the waiting list. And however, GBV and domestic violence is a pandemic in South Africa, and we need to get this project up and running ASAP. We are urging community members to get involved by going onto our website, which is www.riseupmovement.org.za, to donate, contribute towards this entity, and to get this project, speeded up. It's becoming a norm of GBV. I think we all know about gender-based violence. We all know about domestic violence, what's taking place, and currently we do have a lot of people that are seeking aid in the sense of a shelter, to just get their lives back in order, and that is why this is absolutely important for us. So if the community can help us with our fundraising projects, our awareness campaigns, and so being part of that will be a huge step forward in getting this project up and running.
I think this is very important. In some way, this is being ignored. So I think that awareness is very important, and people's support is very important, so we can spread the word.
No, absolutely.
And help. So thank you for doing this. I wish there were more people like you on earth, not ignoring this. So people can get the help they need and the support they need. So thank you for so much. You're doing so much for the community. You're doing so much for South Africa, and we're very glad for you. Thank you so much.
No, thank you to the community, to our fellow stakeholders, our local businesses, and entities, within our communities for supporting the initiative, supporting the drive, for always coming through, especially with Ballito TV and the team that's always there to walk that extra mile with us. And respect and credit to you guys for actually, being part of our initiative. And as I said, we are looking to get this project up and running. Our intention is by December, by the 1st of December, to have the house up and running.
I'm very excited
So
for
we're
that.
actually pushing through that, and and community members to please get involved, be part of the drive. And one of the things we're actually promoting this year in our awareness campaign is not just awareness, but it's also accountability.
Yes.
Accountability goes a long way, and be part of an organization or a movement that is contributing to the betterment of mankind, or say towards our society.
It's very important.
So and again, thank you guys for always being there for us.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me on the seat today.
Thank you,
Really
Megan.
appreciate it. I'd like to encourage the community to be a part of the Rise Up movement. Help where you can. We are very proud of you. Thank you for helping. Help Josh, get involved, and we'll see you next time.
And that's a wrap. Thank you to every viewer, every guest and sponsor. Without you, the show would not be possible. We'd like to close off the show with the music video. Have a fabulous week, and we'll see you again on Friday at 6 a.m.